Hello friends, myself Pravesh and very welcome to my channel Bongwazo Dikoskep, rather our channel Bongwazo Dikoskep. Today I am not here as a filmmaker, neither I am a admin of the Bongwazo Dikoskep. Today I am here as your FPG. Do you know what is FPG? FPG is a friend, philosopher and guide. You feel be surprised why I am talking to you like this FPG, because today I am going to launch a new web show and what I called it Urban Life. And why urban life? Because I think living in urban life is very difficult and troublesome, and for that reason I'm making a web program that will going to discuss every day about a topic, and that topic will be going to helpful for you in thriving the urban life. Moreover, before getting into the actual topic of the urban life, today I am going to tell you why this Bongwazo Dikoskep. I mean, you people are with us for the last 18 months, and so it's our duty to make you inform about who we are and what we are doing, why we are making this Bongwazo Dikoskep. It is just a web program or it's something else? To me it is something else because it's a concept. It has started a long time back with 3 people, me and other 2, those who left, and I'm here, but now another 2 people are with me. They are doing the very good job. Even today's video, the person who is behind the camera is Rumi, and another person is there, Shobhan. These are the 2 people. I mean, they are my pillars in this web show, rather in this channel, who is helping me out and just making this Bongwazo Dikoskep till death. I like to thank you, all of you, for making Bongwazo Dikoskep with the 1.1K subscriber, and this is your love and affection that made us to Bongwazo Dikoskep in this place. So I think let me introduce about myself. I mean, who am I? Why I have started Bongwazo Dikoskep? Before getting into the Bongwazo Dikoskep, I am a banker. I have started my career a long time back. I mean, 15 years back I joined as a school teacher. I worked there for 10 months, then I left and joined the corporate industry because at that time when I was in the school, I was doing my post-graduation in management. As soon as I completed my post-graduation in management, I joined the corporate sector, and I have the handsome 11 years of work experience in public sector banking in India, quite bit accustomed with the banking scenarios and the fund management. So that would be added advantage for you people, because one day I'm going to make a video on the money and the fund management. So friends, this is about myself, and maybe one day I will bring Shoham and Rumi with me to tell you about more thing about their life too. Now let's get back to the show. As I told you that in this Bongwazo Dikoskep, urban life. In urban life, I'm going to give you topics. That topics will be dealt in very precisely, and it will going to help you. All the people, I mean, from all the segments of the people, be it a kids or a office goer or a housewife or a working lady, might be topic will be discussed. Small topics will be dealt in every show, and that will going to help you out in curbing your life. Or rather to thriving a urban life. So let's start Prabhu's urban life. So friends, let's start. Today's topic, I'm going to tell you the 5 some easiest way of developing your English. Now I won't call it developing English, I'll call it developing any of the language you can do by going through all these easiest methods. For any language, if you want to learn any language, you have to make the 2 things. One, you have to first develop it, and another is how you're going to execute it. I mean, first you have to take it from the environment, and then you're going to get into the environment. That is, you have to going to speak, right? So communicate. So for developing, there are the various steps, and for executing, there are mainly 2 ways. How? I'm telling you. One is writing, through you can communicate, and one is through speaking, and this is the most important factor. When you start speaking, you got some problem, you cannot able to speak, and I will going to emphasis on that particular, how to going to speak English without fear and without any inhibitions, because this episode is basically for those people who couldn't able to speak English properly, those who are in from the vernacular medium schools. For them, this episode will be a most interesting part. Now, as I told you, there are two things. One is developing in English and another is communicating. For developing, there are two parts. One is listening and another is reading, by which you can develop any language, right? So how are you going to listen? You can listen by when the two people are talking to each other, then only you can listen, or you can watch televisions or movies for listening purpose. Now, what I used to do in my childhood when I was kid or I was in school, I keep on watching movies a lot, English movies. That gives me a lot of impetus to speak English. So you can go by watching, you can go for the watching televisions also, means soap operas, serials, and many more. Those things which likes you most, you keep on watching. And moreover time, at that time when I was in school days, there was a very scarce of the subtitle. You don't get the subtitle at that time, most of the movies. But nowadays you can get a lot of subtitles, and moreover if the Google is there, you can find it out there. By typing it, you can find the exact pronunciation, so you don't have any problem in. So the listening can be done by different ways. Here the watching movies or the watching soap operas is much more important for listening purpose. Now, as you listen, now there comes another way you can understand the English, that is by reading. So keep a habit of reading books. I mean, I better you start reading newspaper. You can go for the Asian Age or the Telegraph, the Times of India. After, if you have the grasp of the English, then you can start reading the Hindu or the Statesman. I prefer the Hindu. Now the question is, as soon as you read the newspaper, you can have the comics books also. There's a lot of comics books. In my school days, I used to read a lot of comics books. So I used to read Archie's comics. Then there is a Tinkle is there, Enid Blyton's many novel is there, like Noddy, Famous 5, Secret 7. You can go and have it. You can have the internet version or the what we call it net version too. Now that is for reading. Now as soon as you get the reading and listening, you have a good stock of what. One more thing, to develop your vocabulary, you must I will suggest one book that is called Norman Lewis Word Power Medici. This book is holy grail for me, because I read it. You can able to understand the words, from where these words, the English words have been taken. I mean particular words, its roots, prefix, suffix. So you keep on, so it will enrich your vocabulary. As soon as you have the stock of words, now you can able to communicate. For communications, there are two types. One is written and is speaking. First I'll talk about the written skill. You keep on start writing a small sentence and make a habit of writing a diary. If you can understand English better, and you can be able to develop your English. Once the writing is over, now that comes the most important thing, which I am today dealing with you all people, is speaking. Most of us, we know a lot of English, we know the lot of other language also, but we cannot able to speak because we fumble. Why? Because we have some scares. We often think that we will make a mistake. So while talking or speaking, don't have that fear. And one major mistake most of the people used to do, those who are from the vernacular medium schools, they used to think in Bengali or Uriya or Marathi or Hindi, then they try to translate it in English, and that is a major mistake we often do. So don't do that thing. Think like an Englishman and speak like an Englishman. I suggest you to do in that way. So keep on speaking in English. Make a group of friends who are poor in English, and try to communicate with each other, so that at least you have the habit to of speaking English. The once you this phobia or the fear off, then you can able to speak English in front of the so many people. Let me tell you my experience. In my school days, I couldn't able to speak English. In my school, we often actually our class teacher used to charge 25 paisa for speaking a single words in Bengali, Hindi or other their vernacular languages. So I used to give that charges, make the penalty amount, but still I never ever tried to speak English. But one day I realized that speaking English is important, the country or the nations we are living in, because in India, not only in India, in the other part of the Asia also, the English is predominant. You have to understand an English if you wanted to successful in this life or in your official life. One. Secondly, if you go outside of the Asia, maybe you don't need to be English, because there other language like Spanish, French or German, these are much more prevalent. As far as India is concerned, you have to be a good English spokesperson, otherwise it's very difficult in your life. I mean, I'm talking about the urban life, of course. In countryside, may not you required to speak English, but as this topic is with the urban life, so in the urban life you have to speak the proper English and try to speak a proper English. One day you will be able to speak English if you go by these steps. I think from today only start watching the English movies with the subtitles so that you can able to understand English. In the next episode, I'll be going to tell you about the most important topic, that the conflict, because in the urban life we often be in a conflicting situation. So for today only, I'm just signing on. But before that, I request you to, if you like this show, please like our video, subscribe it if you haven't, or try to hit the bell icon so that you get the notification. For today only, this is the first show of the urban life, and I am in the eco park because I have a lot of this relation with this eco park, because there is a lot of landscape, and since I am basically a nature lover, I used to come here. So I thought, though I doing some urban life episode, I want to be in the nature's paradise. I call it a nature's paradise. So friends, bye, take care, and what I usually say, shabba khair, and in French I say au revoir.